Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally sharing my top makeup favorites of 2021. It was so hard to pick out all the good stuff, but there was definitely some that really stood among the rest. I feel like I did try a lot of mediocre makeup this year, but these are the products I just always gravitate towards, always reach for when I want to know my makeup is gonna look good. I did do like a mid-year one of these, kind of going over some of my favorites, so some of these might be repeats that have stood the test of the last year, but I feel like towards the end of the year we had a lot of really good eyeshadow palettes come out, so there is some new stuff in here to share, but let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let's start out with primer. Primer is something I feel like I don't really usually get like obsessed with. Sometimes I feel like it works and sometimes I feel like primer doesn't do a whole lot. I'm still trying to find some good like holy grails. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. But so far the NYX Marshmallow Primer has been a holy grail for me because I love how this makes my skin feel after I apply it. It feels so soft and so smooth, and I just feel like my skin is very perfected. Once I apply my foundation on top, it just kind of blurs everything. I don't really notice my pores as much, so this is always a go-to, and I love that it has a little bit of a sweet smell to it. It's, I would say, mid-range price point. It's not super affordable, but it's not really high end either, but I think they did such a good job with this one. I feel like NYX has really upped their makeup game in the last year, so this is definitely my favorite primer of the year, the one that I use the most, and I could probably declutter all my primers and just use this one, to be honest. Moving on to foundations, you guys know I use this stuff when I cannot find the lids because I'm just constantly putting this on my face. I don't know if I mentioned this one last year, but this isn't like a super new foundation. I think it did come out in 2020 possibly, but the Too Faced Born This Way matte is my everyday like go-to for flawless full coverage. I just adore this stuff. I actually had it in my collection for a while and didn't end up using it much. I was using my Estee Lauder Double Wear, but that kind of started clogging my pores a lot, so then I switched to this and I've just never looked back since. So this is always my go-to for like photo shoots and stuff when I know I want my makeup to be flawless and lasting all day. I do have this one on today. I just feel like my skin always looks its best when I have on the Born This Way matte. I don't love the original Born This Way. That one is super greasy on me, but this one is awesome if you guys have oily skin. Definitely recommend trying this one. I have two shades. I use Snow and also Light Beige. I have Light Beige on now because I do have some self-tan on, but I just have my regular and my self-tan shades in the Born This Way matte. And then this year was definitely the year of skin tints, and I am not a skin tint girl by any means. I like more medium full coverage, so it was kind of hard for me to find a good skin tint. I feel like I tried literally everything this year, and this one was definitely the best of the best, and it's actually from the Drugstore. This is L'Oreal. It's the True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. This is beautiful on the skin. I would say it gives a light, but it can be built up to a medium coverage, so the coverage is pretty decent on this, which I do like, and it just looks absolutely flawless. Now this one does have a little bit of a glow to it, so it doesn't keep me necessarily matte all day, but it doesn't break up on the skin, and it actually just stays on for hours and hours. I remember I wore this for like probably like over 14 hours one day, and I was just so impressed by how it held up. But I think this is awesome from L'Oreal if you guys want something that's a skin tint that's not gonna like wear off the face in the summer, and that also is going to give you a little bit of coverage. I think you would really like this one, so really pleased with the L'Oreal True Match Nude Serum. This one I have the shade 2 to 3 Light Pale. Okay, concealers, I kind of have a lot. I've tried a lot of good ones this year, so I just wanted to mention my go-to for blemishes. If you guys have breakouts, you guys need the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. I have a medium one in this one because I mostly use it for photo shoot days. I should probably get a lighter shade as well, but this just has the best of the best for coverage, so definitely recommend that. I'll go through these fairly quickly. My favorite high-end, I have to say for under eyes, I love the Pat McGrath concealer. I feel like I've mentioned this already. This isn't new this year, but it's seriously my favorite concealer of all time that just holds up under the eyes. I feel like so many concealers, they just look dry and my eyes look so wrinkly by like a few hours. So this one does not do that to me. It just stays put, conceals everything I need to conceal. It's just amazing. She did such such a good job on this formula. This is shade L5. It's a little bit on the yellow side, but it works. Also for high end, you can see how much I have used of this one. This is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Concealer. Really good formula as well. It reminds me a lot of the Pat McGrath, but a little bit thicker, and it's like matte, but it's not going to emphasize your lines. This one works great under the eyes, but it also works great for blemishes because it has a full coverage. But I don't find it to be too drying, but maybe if you do have severely dry and a lot of fine lines, maybe this wouldn't be for you, but it works so great in my opinion. This is shade 2.3. And then I also had to shout out a Drugstore concealer that's actually newer in my collection, but I've just been so impressed with it so far this year, so I had to give a shout out to the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. Oh my goodness, if you guys do have more fine lines, if you want something a little bit more hydrating, this is gorgeous. It's called a serum, but I feel like it has the consistency of a regular concealer. Like, I get pretty good coverage out of this, and I just like that it's a little bit more moisturizing without being too wet, that it doesn't set down like some other concealers can do. Some of those like super hydrating concealers makes your mascara smudge like crazy because it just never sets down, but this is so good, especially for drugstore. Like I said, NYX is really killing it this year with their launches. This one's sold out everywhere for a while, but I think it has been restocked, so I'll see if I can find it. I think I saw that maybe Ulta and Target restocked this one, but it is so good. It's a little pump applicator as well. Definitely worth checking out. I have the shade Fair. My favorite setting powder of the year has definitely been my One Size setting powder. I think this stuff is amazing. It really does mattify the skin right away, and it just perfects everything again. It gives kind of that blurred finish, hides pores, and keeps my makeup lasting without getting too oily. This is just a little size. I finished up the full size already, so I do need to pick up another one. I just use the translucent shade, so I would definitely recommend for oily skin. It's just the best of the best for me, and usually I don't get too excited about powders like that, but I do notice a difference in my skin when I use this one. As far as bronzers go this year, I have tried so many cream ones, and I prefer powder bronzer. It's just how it is. I feel like it just looks better on my skin. I can never perfect the cream bronzers. There's a couple that I really like but are not super favorites in my collection, but these are definitely my most used of the year. And Charlotte Tilbury I've mentioned over and over, but this is just like my go-to bronzer when I know it's just no fuss. Like, it won't be patchy, it's not gonna blend weird, it's just perfect. And I've already hit pan on this one, and look how big this is. Like, I hit pan on this humongous bronzer. The good thing about these is they sell refills, so if I do run out, then I can just buy the refill instead of the whole new packaging. I use the shade 2 medium, and it seriously is one of the best bronzers out there. It's expensive, but I think it's worth it. I would definitely go darker than you think with these because they do show up a little bit light. Like, this is the medium, but it's so soft, so blendable and smooth. I just am obsessed. It just blends right into the skin. So this is just my go-to every day. And then this one I've also really been loving. I have this one on now. I do use this more when I have self-tan on because it is a little on the darker side, but I think it's great. It reminds me a lot of my Gucci bronzer, like the color and just the formula of it, which I love so much. So to have a more affordable option is great. This is the shade Harmony, which is the medium. I think there is a lighter color, so I should probably check that out because I do like the formula of this a lot. This is the color. As you can see, it's a little bit darker than my Charlotte Tilbury, but I just think it's really pretty. And the LYS brand is pretty affordable on Sephora. This is a really pretty, just warm bronzer that blends beautifully onto the skin. Now, although I don't love cream bronzer so much, I do love cream blush. And this has been the year of cream blush for me. So I have quite a few favorites, but these have to be the top of the top for formula. And I picked one drugstore and one high end. My drugstore one is the MILANI Cheek Kiss cream blush in Nude Kiss. This is such a good cream blush, especially it's from the drugstore, but it literally performs the same as some of my high-end ones. It's that good. This is what it looks like. And I think it's such a pretty formula. This one, it still leaves a bit of a glow to it. It actually reminds me a lot of the one I'm about to talk about, the Tower 28 formula, how it just goes on so smooth and leaves a little bit of a glow behind. But these are very pigmented. I prefer my cream blushes to be pigmented instead of like blending away into the skin. They apply well over foundations and powders as well, which is important because I hate it when you put a cream blush on and you have like spots where your foundation came off. That drives me nuts. So this one is great. It doesn't do that. It's just amazing. I hope they come out with new colors. And then similar to that formula is the Tower 28 cream blushes. I love this color in particular called Magic Hour. This is just my favorite as well. Again, it's a no fuss kind of blush where you can apply it over anything and everything, and it's not going to be patchy. It's not going to move your makeup around. I have this one on today. You can make it super bright or you can lighten it, and it gives a really pretty glow, but you can also mattify it just putting powder on top, and it stays. The color stays, which I think is very important. So that is the Beach Please Magic Hour blush from Tower 28. I'll go ahead and swatch this one. This one might be a little bit more glowy, but they're totally so similar in formula, the MILANI and the Tower 28, and even this color is a little similar too. I think the Tower 28 is just a little bit more pink and MILANI is a little peachier. And then as far as powder blush goes, this has been kind of my favorite. I've kind of been gravitating towards the same blushes in my collection. I've noticed lately. I just filmed a giant blush declutter. I actually filmed it like a few weeks ago, but I haven't put it up yet, so maybe that will be it for the new year. But the Patrick Ta blush in She's Adorable from their Monochrome Moment collection has been a staple for me. It's so pretty. It goes perfectly with the Tower 28, so sometimes I'll apply that and then put this one on top. It's just gorgeous. This one is kind of like a satin finish. It has a very tiny bit of a glow going on, but mostly matte. It's so beautiful, and I think this color is just the perfect peachy pink for every day. So this one comes with me pretty much anywhere and everywhere. I just love this color. Alright, so for highlighter this year, I really have not been wearing highlight like hardly ever, which is crazy. I used to be very into the super beaming highlights, but I just found that sometimes I like my makeup better without it because I do have the natural oils that come throughout the day, and having highlighter with that just kind of emphasizes it. So since I have the natural dew, I don't really need highlighter that much. So I've been liking my face without it, but sometimes if I want some extra glow, I will add it in. And I've been really loving this AURIC one, which is surprising. This is a liquid highlight, and I feel like liquid highlighters are almost even better than powder just because it really looks like you're glowing from within. Your skin like glistens because it looks like it's wet. It's just very natural looking, while sometimes powder highlights can be a little bit more glittery and just emphasize texture a bit more. This one just blends in and becomes one with the skin. Now this technically is a luminizer, so most people probably use this as like a primer before foundation if you have dry skin, but I actually just apply it on its own a little tiny bit. This is gonna last me so long because I barely use anything, but like this much product is what I will use to highlight, and I just kind of blend it onto the skin. I'll show you how it looks blended out, but it's just so natural. It's not super beaming, so I just feel like it looks beautiful and just wet and glossy on the skin. I've been loving this one. So this is actually by a YouTuber, Samantha Ravindal. She just came out with her own line, and the shades keep going in and out of stock, especially this one, Morganite, so definitely get on this if you're wanting it. And if you have dry skin too, this is a really good alternative to the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless filter. And then for mascara, I have tried so many good ones this year. It was really hard to pick, but again, with Patrick Ta, he came out with his mascara this year. This one is called the Major Volume Mascara, and here is what the wand looks like on this one. I tend to like a lot of lengthening mascaras, but I feel like this one does it all. It does the volume and the length in one, and it's very important to me that my mascara does not smudge throughout the day, and this one does not. So I think this is great. It makes my lashes look amazing. I've been wearing false lashes a lot less this year. I love to wear them because I just feel like they give you that extra glam look, but I have been just wearing regular mascara too, off and on. And then this is a new tube. I just used up my last one, but this is definitely probably my top mascara of the year, and it's Drugstore, but it's the Maybelline Sky High Mascara. And this one does have another kind of skinnier wand. It's a very flexible brush, but this one gave me so much length. I think the name is pretty accurate with the Sky High. I feel like not everyone loved this year though, so I guess it's just hit or miss if you like more volume or if you like more length. But if you guys like lengthening mascaras, you will love this one. It's one of the best, and it does not transfer whatsoever. So sorry I don't have the wand to show you, but that is what the actual packaging looks like. skipping over to the brows, I do have a couple of favorites from this year. I pretty much use almost the same brow pencil all the time. I always go for Benefit Precisely My Brow, but I have a couple new things this year. At least this brow gel has definitely replaced my Gimme Brow from Benefit, and this is the KOSAS Air Brow. It's a very similar concept to the Benefit Gimme Brow, but I feel like this one is even better because I feel like this actually has more hold, so I can actually just put this in on its own, and I like how it just like holds my brows up a little bit for that feathered look. I've been liking a little bit more messy brows lately, not super clean cut. I just love that feathered kind of brow look, and I've just been wearing this on its own oftentimes. Now, not today, I do have brow pencil on too with this on top, but seriously the best brow gel ever that even adds some color and it almost volumizes them a little bit as well. I have the shade Taupe in the Air Brow. And then I was really impressed by this year. This is NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen, and this one is one of those felt tip ones. I used to never like these kind of things. I wouldn't really give them the time of day because sometimes they just like smeared all over my brows and I just feel like I couldn't get that precise hair-like stroke. So it's not very one that like smears a lot. You can kind of see there, and it's also nice and light, so it's not gonna like make it look like you took a permanent marker and just like drew your brows in. So I typically just kind of like fluff up the brows. I like to go up and down. I think this looks so good. It looks very natural, and it's really great if you're doing that feather brow look too. I just put brow gel on top and really love that combination. Alright, next category is lips, which I have kind of a lot in this category. It's so hard for me to narrow it down, but I love lip products, so let's go with lip liners. I've tried a lot of really good formulas this year, but I have to give it to Koki because these are so affordable. They're so creamy as well. I really love the texture of these. I'm wearing the shade Warm Nude today. It's so creamy and it gives you enough pigmentation. I love the formula of these. I don't like lip liners that like tug on the lips. I just feel like these are so easy to apply. So there is my little Koki lip liners. I highly recommend checking these out. I think you can mostly get them online on their website. They might be sold at like Rite Aid, but I know it's kind of hard to find their makeup, but it's very affordable. For lipsticks, I had to shout out these that came out this year, the new Urban Decay lipsticks. I think these are really nice. I know they keep redoing their Vice formula. I do feel like they do keep improving the formula, but I love this color in Oat Milk. It's like the perfect light nude that I've been searching for so long. I remember these kind of shades used to be popular when I first got started here on YouTube, but then like all the mauve lips, like the Kylie lip thing got popular and these like super nudes kind of went away, but this color is everything. I love it. Oat Milk, it's light, but like with a lip liner, this is perfect if you just want to lighten up like the center of the lips. And I love the formula. This is one of the cream ones. It's just so good, so creamy, so soft, and full pigmentation. And then I also really love the Huda Beauty cream lipsticks that came out this year. So they had their matte lipsticks, but now they released more of a cream finish. So these to me are actually pretty glossy on the lips. So my favorite is Buttercup. I've used quite a bit of this one already. I do have this one on today. I'll just apply a little bit more on top. But you can see it gives it a really pretty, almost not quite a gloss, but a little bit of a glossy finish. Here is a swatch. It's actually a very similar color to Oat Milk, a little bit darker, a little bit more pink. As you can see, those are kind of my favorite type of shades, but another favorite everyday nude, just a very comfortable lip. I've been loving more of those creamy lip formulas instead of more matte this year. And then my favorite glosses of the year have to be my KAJA gloss shots. These are so nice on the lips. They're actually very affordable as well. I think they're like in the $14-15 price range on Sephora, and they have the perfect pinky neutral colors that I just wear anytime I need lip gloss. They're really comfortable, they're not sticky, they smell amazing, and they give you a really nice like plump look to the lips. And this gloss is also very good. I had to give a shout out to the LAWLESS Forget the Filler. If you guys want that plump thick gloss, this is what you need. These got really popular this year, and for good reason. I have one of the colorful ones in Daisy Pink, and it's just a thick gloss that literally makes your lips look like you just got injections. It's crazy, but it doesn't have any burning, stinging sensation. So the Daisy Pink offers a little bit of color to it. So it's just a little bit thicker than the Tower 28 ones, but seriously, I really want to get more of the new colors in these because they are that good. And then this year I've been wearing a lot of just lip balm too. And I like lip balms that have a little bit of tint to them so I can just wear them every day. Always have them in my car on the go. I always have to have something on my lips. I've been using a lot of the KOPARI lip glossies, and Birthday Suit is usually my go-to color. So pretty on the lips. It's a thinner formula, so it's not super goopy or anything like that. So just this sits in my car pretty much for every day. I love all of them. They have a watermelon one, a pineapple one. They all smell so good and are just the perfect moisturizing balm for every day. And then I've really been loving these Too Faced ones, and they just had new colors come out this year. So Watermelon Kiss has to be my favorite because it gives you a little bit of that pinky color. And these are a little thicker, but they smell so freaking good. The watermelon and the banana are my favorite. So you can see here, it's going to give a little bit of a pinky glow to the lips. Obsessed. Even with no makeup days, I will just throw these on when I'm running errands and all that, even around the house, just to make my lips look a little bit more glossy and plump throughout the day. These are amazing. And then we'll finish off the video here with my favorite palettes. This was so hard to choose, but I feel like most of the palettes that I loved came out towards the end of the year. But I have to say number one is gonna go again to Patrick Ta, and this is the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. This is pretty much my go-to neutral palette at this point. I know when it came out, it was kind of expensive, and I was like, okay, this is Patrick Ta's first palette. Is it really going to be anything different from what I have in my collection? Because I have so many neutrals, but truly the formula really stands out, and that's why I keep going for this every day, because like you cannot make a mistake with this. It's so easy to use. The shadows are so blendable. You do have to like glitter because these are kind of glittery top coats here. So you do have to like a more glittery look. If you don't and you prefer more metallic or shimmer, you probably won't like this, but I absolutely love. My favorite combo that I have on today, just on the lid, I always place this cream. It has a tiny bit of micro glitter in it that actually does show up on the eyes. I placed that on the lid and put this one on top. It's beautiful if you want just like that really brightened inner corner. And the mattes are great in here too. It even has a couple creams that blend out amazingly. So sometimes I'll do the cream browns in the crease first and then put my matte on top, and I feel like that kind of makes it stay even longer. So I personally love this. I think it really is the best neutral palette in my entire collection. Another palette that really surprised me this year how much I love it is the Natasha Denona Retro. You guys know I'm a big Natasha fan. This one is more of like a mauve rosy palette. Now you guys know how much I loved the Tartelette Juicy palette earlier this year, but I feel like this kind of replaced it for me, and now I love this one even more just because I can get a little bit more shimmer out of it, and it's kind of the same kind of pinky tones that I love for every day. So this is more of a soft palette. You can't build up too much depth with it, but I just love every look that comes out of this. I can get even some like cooler tones in here as well. I love this Jude color mixed with the Opart cream formula here. Beautiful look. I feel like every time I wear this palette, I always get a million questions what I have on my eyes. It's beautiful. So if you were kind of debating on this one, if you need it in your collection, I've used mine so much. It's so good. I know a lot of these are more luxury palettes, but there's just something about the formula and how easy they are to use that they're the most used in my collection for real. You can see the use on them. But I had to give also a shout out to this Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look of Love in a palette. I bought this year, not really expecting much out of it. I was like, okay, like let's try this out. I don't think it's gonna be like amazing, but then it became like a staple in my collection. It's like a go-to little travel palette for me because it has like everything that you ever need in one palette. You got your eyeshadows on top, your bronzer. This is actually the same bronzer that's in their Film Star Bronze and Glow. There's the Airbrush setting powder in here. I thought that was so cool that they included that. It's such a favorite for people. You could use it to set the face or the under eyes. There's a highlight and also a little blush. The blush is a little bit hard to use because it is so small, but overall I just love this. For a really easy everyday kind of palette, I would definitely recommend. I think it's beautiful. beautiful. The eyeshadows remind me a little bit of the Patrick Ta ones. I would say it has that same glittery type of formula. It goes on pretty much all my trips with me. I also really enjoy this one from Pat McGrath that came out for the holidays. I think this is stunning. I also bought the Utopian Dream palette this year, and I actually use this one a lot more. The Utopian Dream has some really pretty shimmery glittery shades, but I don't like the glitter fallout that I get out of those, and these I feel like don't have like as much fallout as the Utopian Dreams does. So I really enjoy this. I feel like it's more metallics. I guess I don't really like the special Pat McGrath shades as much as I do these beautiful shimmering metallic colors, but I love that I can go neutral with this, or I can add some color in. There's a lot of greens, blues, purples going on in this palette, and I also like that it has a couple different mattes in here as well to mix and match. It's just all around kind of a perfect setup for me, and it's so much better than last year's palette. I did not like last year's holiday palette, and these actually end up being a little bit more affordable since it has like different packaging, I guess, cheaper packaging, but this is still available. I know Pat McGrath is doing a site-wide sale, so I'll have to see if it's still on there, but I love this one this year. And last but not least, this is also kind of newer. I feel like all the brands wait until the holiday to come out with like their best palettes, but this is Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. I usually love a lot of the big Huda Beauty palettes that come out. Last year's favorites, I'm sure, had the Naughty Nudes in it, but this is gorgeous as well if you guys like purples. Again, I feel like every time I'm wearing this, everyone is wanting to know what I have on my eyes because the purples are so just very unique shades and so shimmery and metallic. There's different textures going on in here, and the formula is really good. I think it's stunning. You might not like this glossy shade that's in there, but just ignore that and try everything else. I love these marbled shades too. They're so pretty. This blissful shade is such a standout color. I love throwing this one just all over the lid. So definitely try the Rose Quartz. It might be, I don't know if it beats the Naughty Nudes for me, but it's definitely a close second. It's very good. So that is going to complete my 2021 makeup favorites. I'm super pleased with all these products. These are seriously well-loved products in my collection. I do have a little giveaway for you guys as well today. I've been throwing these in kind of random towards the end of the year here. So I have a giant mystery box. This is a big one. This is like the large box here filled with a ton of makeup, skincare, hair care goodies in here that I want to give away as a little after Christmas gift for one of you guys. So if you guys would like to enter, I'm going to run this giveaway for 1 week. You must be subscribed to my channel as well as following me already on my Instagram page, which is at Leah Janae, and please leave a comment down below some of your favorite makeup products of the year. I would love to hear some of your favorites. If you guys have a top favorite, just something that really changed your makeup game this year, let me know, and I'll pick a winner a week from today. I'll reply to your comment if you are the winner on here, so make sure you have your notifications on as well so you do not miss if you guys are the winner. But that's gonna be it for this video. I do have my favorite ColourPop products coming, so you'll notice I didn't have any ColourPop in this video. That one's either gonna be up tomorrow or the next day, we'll see, but that is coming. ColourPop needed its own separate video because I try so much of their stuff and a lot of it is just so good. But that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.